is good. We got it. Okay, so I guess I'm going to start with the science concepts that we have in our Batik. So what this is a micrograph of nerve cells from the adrenal gland, from a tumor of the adrenal gland, and it's showing their growth. So the very first thing I want to point out is the blue areas of the Batik. What you see there, that's the process of the nerve cells actually growing. That's where you see the growth at. That's called the neurites. Those neurites, they give, I guess, they lead to what eventually becomes the axons and the dendrites, which the axons and the dendrites of the image of nerve cells. That's what sends messages back and forth throughout the body. The pink area of the image, that's the nucleus of the nerve cells. Let's see. Down here we can see that we've already got some fully formed axons and dendrites. Where we see this big bluish green area, that would have been down here previously if the axons and dendrites hadn't already been formed. So basically, what's going on here is these are newly formed nerve cells that have come from this tumor of the adrenal gland. They just replicated, and now what they're doing is they're growing, they're expanding, and so in the actual image, where these bluish green areas are, it's not really a defined border like the way you see it here because of the resist. This is actually a very open border. There's not really a clear beginning or ending to where the cell is, and that's because the cell is still growing. There's still a lot of formation happening.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the art concepts. So first off, this is a batik, and basically that means we use wax as our resist, and it resists or it doesn't allow the dye wherever we use the wax. So that's one of the important concepts you want to have your students know, is that they were doing a batik. And again, it's like dyeing, and you can use different mediums. So our second vocabulary was mediums. We use silk, but you could also use fabric. And then you could correlate medium with science. For instance, in microbiology, you use different mediums to grow bacteria. So just like art has a medium, you could use canvas, you could use silk. So does science. Also, we talked about assigned color. For instance, just as the last group mentioned, this isn't what the actual cell would look like, and this wasn't necessarily what our cell in our picture even looked like, but assigned color enables the viewer to understand better what's going on. And so we thought just visually having like a blue-purple background was appealing, and yet it also provided great contrast between our other colors. And again, we assigned the colors like pink and blue because we wanted you to be able to differentiate and see the different structures. We also have complementary colors in here. So we have the blue going with the orange. This provides the greatest contrast, again, allowing you to see the different structures clearly. And then we focus on texture. Same thing, we added salt and we added like vinegar to give a different texture to this area, give a different texture to the nucleus and around the nucleus, just again allowing the viewer to see the different parts more clearly.
We art grouped did the cell, organelle, and silk batik article, and it was basically about a biology teacher that was teaching cell organelle function, and to engage their students and also to like reinforce the science contents, they decided to integrate art into the lesson, and so they got help from an art teacher. And so first they like discussed different animal and plant cells, and then they learned a little bit about this artist from New York that was previously like a scientist. And then they experimented with colors like we did, and made a silk batik, but they used just the hoops, not the big one that we had. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So it's pretty similar to our batik that we did, but not on purpose.
So things about these kinds of projects that you could do for like your own classroom and how you could apply them. You know, you could go like if you're somebody like a chemistry teacher or something like that, you can talk about like the chemistry behind these colors mixing and why that's occurring, and then also kind of more as like a general science type thing. You can talk about like, you know, you can use this as a lead into something where you talk about different types of reactions with photons and light, and you know why it is we see the colors that we see. And so a lot of you will plow the ground in like the kinds of concepts we can use for. But really, where this can shine is concept attainment and knowing not just for yourself but the students, for them to know like how well they understand these things. Because if you've ever had to like, if I asked you to draw a cell right now with all the components that you can think of, like you can go on and on. Like the organelles, that's the easy part. But now, are those organelles to scale? And you know, am I showing like various different vacuoles and maybe proteins and things like that? And ribosomes. There's a bunch of different ways you could go, and that's just with the cell. And so, depending on what direction you might want to take your class to, you could maybe funnel them into like, you know, some things that you actually want them to, you know, paint about or draw about, and that can serve as a kind of a great lead-in. Is there any questions for us?
Can you show us the original image?
It's not our table.
This is the original image.
We changed the background color because we determined that black is a boring color. And yeah, and other than that, I think it's pretty similar to the main image. Uncanny.
It's uncanny.
Thank you.